Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to talk to you a little bit about Stephen Covey's Effective People. Let's go ahead and here we're going to talk just a little bit about what your drive is inside of what's powering you. So as we're going to the classroom a little bit, we're going to get started. So first off, you want to focus on what your mission statements are. Now, Stephen Covey talks about you want to have these programmings inside of you. They're kind of like a creed. You want to have a solid identifying factor in your life about how you act to everything around you. And you want them to be pretty stable. So it's like who you are. You know, if you're a flimsy person, then you're not going to have a solid mission, and then you won't know where you're going. So you want to have something, these are just examples we use inside of the book, but you want something like, hear both sides before judging. Plan tomorrow's work for today. Do not fear the mistakes. Fear only the absence of the creative and constructive and corrective responses to those mistakes. These are statements describing things about yourself that you just are. You know, they're not flimsy, they don't move around. These are just who you are, and you have an identifying idea of where you are. You know, these don't have to be you particularly, but you want to write down where you are and what exactly is driving you. Stephen Covey talks specifically about, he asked the question, what's in your center? And he said that whatever's right here in your focus, right here, if you imagine something right here in your core, that this, whatever it is, we'll put a little battery there so you have an idea. That's a shitty battery, but you get the point. This is pretty much going to power all these different elements. Now, what are these elements? Well, right here you have your guidance, you have your strength, you have your wisdom, and you have your security. If I were to put that into something else, you could say that this is your self-worth, this is your direction in life, this is your ability to act, and this is your perspective on life. Now, depending on what your center is, where your focus is on, is going to determine how flimsy of a system you have to power these other aspects of your life. Now, let's just plug a couple in real quick. So, if you're self-focused right there, you're kind of like the Dead Sea. Meaning it only takes in, it never gives. You know, things are going in, it's just dying. What happens if you're internally focused on just yourself and, you know, you change, you get attached to your body or something like that, you get fat, you do something like you get scars and scrapes all over yourself, all of a sudden, like, pff, there goes your self-worth because you're basing it completely on you. I'll tell you what, you sure as hell don't have a whole lot of ability to act if it comes to everyone's against you. I'll tell you, my friends, power comes in numbers, so you don't want to be just on yourself. So this is probably not an acceptable way of doing it. Now let's focus on money right here. If we're focused on money, if money is what drives us, if money is the perspective by which we're going by, then that's pretty shitty too. Because I'll tell you why. You know what? Perspective on life right here. How many people automatically judge somebody by how much money they make at their job? Have you ever been somewhere before and the first question they ask you is, you know, where do you work? And then they, you know, in the back of their head, they're engineers or who knows what they're doing, and they're, you know, scoffing you off because, you know, you're not making $1 million a year. You know, money's a cool thing; it can really help you out. But the thing is, you know, money is just what we use to buy ourselves free time. You know, so, you know, that's cool. You know, if you're a millionaire, whatever, your self-worth's all there. But what happens if you're poor? Well, you're pretty much dead. You don't have any ability to act. You don't have any direction aside from getting more money, but that's not really focusing on quality values. That's not making you a good quality person. That's just focusing on one thing that's essentially supposed to be getting you freedom. You're sacrificing your freedom just for the dollar bill, which isn't acceptable. Next is your spouse. Yeah, be supportive, be awesome, and be there for your family. But if your wife comes home and she's having a bad day, are you going to go down the shitter road too? No. Let her stew in her own nonsense. People have to go through the struggles by themselves. And you want to be supportive. You want to be understanding. But you don't want to let that screw yourself over. You don't want to let your wife, who just had a bad day at work, make it so you're incompetent and you can't do anything for the rest of the day. You don't want to make it so, oh, look at, woe is me, this is such a great day because my wife had a bad day and now I'm useless. You don't want your self-worth to go down the toilet because, you know, you're basing it off of her. No, you're a powerful individual. You have magic inside of yourself. And you shouldn't have to be focusing on other people. Just like if you have kids. Be there, be supportive to your kids. But don't let them fool you into being somebody who you don't need to be. You know, if you're a parent, a strong parent, you've got a good way of doing everything and they get upset at you, and kids get upset, you know. It's completely natural. But if your kids get mad at you and they hate you, slam the door and go in your room, are you going to stop being a good parent? Probably not, you know, because you're a powerful person. You know, you're ready to act and you're ready to go. So, this isn't such a great option. Now, I went ahead and I told you what not to focus on. What do we focus on? Well, we want to focus on principles because these are universal and they don't react. We're talking about principles like the ability to serve, integrity, quality, trustworthiness, because these, under all circumstances, are going to be all the same. These are all going to be things that you can do and focus on that will power you to continue moving in your life. You know, who's going to say that serving other people is going to be bad? The more you serve, the more likely they are to help you in a jam. You know, if you have integrity with whatever you're doing, then that's a good thing. Who's going to think that, you know, shady business is going to be the best way to go? You want to have quality. I can't imagine anybody who would want shitty products. You know what I mean? No, they want quality from you. Trustworthiness, I think people like people who are honest a little bit more than when they're liars, you know? Truth be told. This is an amazing book right here. I really suggest you go ahead and read it. But aside from that, before I leave, I just want to say, listen, if you find any value in everything that I've been saying, anything I've been saying, if you just like the fact that I'm walking around talking to you, looking at the camera, and this is my first shoot and I'm not doing it several different times, then go ahead and hit that like button. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't hit the like button now, you're going to regret it. Because right now, you could be part of a movement. You can be one of the first people to hit that like button and give me the support. Not that I need it, because I'm not focused around you guys. I'm a very powerful person, and so are you. But with that, I wanted to say have an amazing day. I'm going to see you tomorrow, my friends.